Where I come from in Italy is a region called Frosinone in Lazio, south of Rome, north of Naples. I've been very lucky through the years. I've always had a really reliable team, very hardworking, very honest, loyal, and I think that's the key to the success behind business and all the businesses. What puts a smile on my face? What puts a smile on everybody's face? Money. We're open 12 years here. 4 years into it, we opened a place in Dublin 4, outside the Aviva Stadium. When we first opened Quattro in Stepaside, it was a smaller sit-down area, and the opportunity to take the next retail unit next door came up, and we were basically always refusing tables because we only had about 7 tables when we first opened. So the unit next door came in, and we turned into an 85-seater restaurant. My headspan at the time was, let one go and focus on one bigger thing and do it properly, opposed to doing, maybe two or three things, not 100%. I think the woodfire aspect was always in the back of our mind from Italy. Funny enough, we never actually thought about bringing it to Ireland sooner. So it came in, and we were very limited on, ovens that would import to Ireland at the time. We were limited to even the wood we could use, the different types of grades of flour. As you can imagine, all the Italian produce like Parma ham, mortadella, all Italian produce, they're actually only starting to be seen in the supermarkets nowadays. Well, in the last couple of years, more and more so. So we were kind of limited to what we could get our hands on. Instead of having 10 brands of tomatoes, you had 3 to pick from. Now there's probably about 30 or 40 of them. So it's very different now. Wood-fire pizza has definitely taken off in Ireland. And thankfully, it's not a fad, as you have a lot of these fad businesses that would open donuts. Yeah, we're lucky. We're lucky. But I think if you give a good quality product and you keep in with the trends, you're on top of it. You're on a winner. Inspired me was I could always see that when I was at home ordering pizza, I had 2 options. I had the bigger chain, which we won't mention the name, which isn't pizza for me. It is the name it's called. Or we had the lower scale of pizza. And I guess putting the concept of a wood burning oven, I knew in my own heart and soul that that was going to be a goer. I didn't feel like there was any risk at the time because at the end of the day, I always felt that pizza was a higher profit margin, which it is. Now, I wouldn't agree with that totally now, 12 years later, because we've obviously had the increases of inflation, but we've also had, in this type of business, we've taken on the inflation of other countries because we are buying basically 80% of our produce from Italy. Like, for example, tomatoes, the can that they come in, the steel can, that has gone up 40% in Italy. Never mind the tomato that's in the can as well. So we've been against all this, and we're still here. And hopefully, in a year or two, it'll come back again. It's back to the way it was. My favorite pizza is the Diavola, which is not the Italian Diavola because it's just a salami picante. I guess for the Irish palate now, you need a lot more on it. So we have jalapenos, fresh chilies, garlic oil, fior di latte mozzarella, San Marzano tomatoes, pepperoni, and then we added the Spanish chorizo in. I think when we first opened, I think I had 2 a day. And, it's like when you have a new song on the radio, you listen to it 20 times and then it wears out. And the most popular pizza is the andouille calabrese, which is tomato base, andouille sausage on it, pepperoni, and there is fresh mozzarella and then loads of fresh basil on it. That one we put on about 2 years ago, and drizzled honey as well. And that took over the Diavola. People like it hot. People like a spicy pizza in Dublin, and they like a good amount of toppings. The most important thing to me about my pizza would be, I drive the guys mad. I could be in and out even on my day off. It's kind of a natural thing. And if this pizza's coming out of the oven and something doesn't look right, you remake it. It has to be perfect. It has to have that leoparding around it. But we do a Romana pizza here. We don't do the Neapolitan pizza, simply because we do takeaway and delivery. And I find the Neapolitan style pizza is lovely to eat in, but to travel, you would find that the pizza you'd lift it up and it'd be very soggy because it's cooked at a higher degrees and it's cooked much faster. So the dough hasn't had that time to stay in the oven to crispen up. So by the time you get it home and with 4 or 5 toppings on it, you pick the piece of pizza up, whole thing flops down. That's what my customers felt when we did our first trial test when we were picking our dough. So we stuck with a Romana base. Yeah, so no messing with the dough here. My favorite pizza of all time, here of course, Quattro. My motto is, if you won't eat it yourself, don't sell it to your customer. So here's the best for me. Our dough is 48-hour fermented. What I've always noticed is people do look at the price of a pizza and they kind of go, 18, 19 euros for a pizza. To be honest, guys, you have to think, like even on Stevenson's Day, we're doing dough even though we're closed because of the 48-hour process. There's a lot of work behind it. There is a science behind pizza dough. Pizza chefs have to be paid well as well. There is an art. And let's face it, stretching pizza dough all day over a table isn't the easiest of jobs on the back. But I honestly think woodfire pizza is the way to go. And that's why we're multiplying in it, which is worrying. But I think once we keep our standards up and your quality is there and you have your customer base, we're all good. We don't have to worry about anything. What do I look forward to every day the most in my restaurants? To be very busy, to pay all them bills. Best decision I ever made. Definitely wasn't to leave school to come into the food business, but there's no going back now, is it? The best decision was to open Quattro and to move to Dublin 18. The community around here has been very, very good to us, thank God. If I could go back in time, would there be anything differently? I wish I was half as calm as I am now in my mid-30s as I was in my 20s. Kind of grow up in your business. You kind of look back on things and you go, oh my God, was that me? But yeah, definitely I wish I had a bit of more calmer aspect on things. Don't do it now, wait. If it was 5 years ago, I'd say go for it, but just wait a little. If you really want it, do it. But it's hard work and safe netted, as in don't go in guns blazing and putting your house down on any security. Go with something low risk and work hard at it. But wait a little, it will be back.